Oh, today I have an amazing video for you today, and that is the 5 reasons why men are going their own way. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, for those that have seen my videos before, I decided to try a different format. I now have a podcast mic. Let's see if the audio is improved. And you can see the skyline here in Atlanta. I live right near the Fox Theater on Peachtree. It's a fantastic neighborhood, but I don't want to bore you with my neighborhood stuff. So let's just get right into this video. So men are going their own way because they're fed up with women, period. No pun intended, all right? So let's get into these 5 things. Number 1 is men are fed up with dating apps. Dating apps is an absolute shit show. You guys know all about this. And the thing is, there's at least 3 men to every 1 woman on a dating app, maybe even more than that, right? Probably 4 to 1. So the reality is, women on these apps are overwhelmed with people that are liking their posts or their profile, or they're trying to match with them, whatever. So to give you an example, the average woman will get 50 to 100 likes per day when they first join. It pretty much doesn't matter the dating apps. Isn't that insane? The other day, I was at a bar and a restaurant, and I started having a conversation with this woman, and she was telling me about her Bumble experience. So she shows me her phone, and she had 5,800 likes from Bumble within 90 days. That's 64 per day, which is exactly in line with what I've said, 50 to 100 messages per day. How are they going to possibly see your message when you come along you come along day 1 and they're not even seeing your message? So she told me she recently had to go through 400 profiles just to like one guy. Now, in fairness, you have a lot of women on dating apps that are a 3 out of 10 at best, but yet they want to meet a guy that is a 7. Well, that's not happening. However, that's the expectation that they have. Not fair, but it is what it is. And I myself sometimes do dating apps, not very often, but I also understand and I get frustrated as well. So my story quickly, I was married before 20 years, been single for 2 years. I've had hundreds of dates in the last 2 years, man. I can date no problem. And one of the secrets to my success is I meet a lot of women organically. I go to restaurant bars myself, and I will do cold approach. But dating apps, men are going their own way because they're frustrated and they're fed up with dating apps. That's number 1. So number 2, men are fed up with, I said cold approach, so what a great segue. Men are fed up with cold approach because here's the reality. Even though I approach a lot of women, I don't get a lot of dates out of it. Women are just as flaky as cold approach as they are on dating apps. And here's the crazy thing. One time I was watching Fresh and Fit podcast, and he had a panel of women on the podcast. It was maybe 10 women. He went around each one of them and he said, hey, just out of curiosity, how many times a week do you get approached from a guy? Not catcalled, but like legitimately approached. And the numbers ranged anywhere from 1 to 4 times per week that they get approached. So then he had a follow-up question. He said, okay, well, from those approaches, how many dates have you gone on? And the crazy thing is none of the women actually went on a date with these guys that cold approached them. So I get it, man. Men are going their own way because they're also fed up with cold approach. So number 3, men are fed up with being used. Ooh, this is a big one, man. Like, when's the last time you've gone on a first date, but it was your first and last? Maybe that's your story. Maybe you go on these first dates, but it never really goes anywhere. And yet the women have no problem taking the food, taking the drink because you're paying for it, and using you for a free meal and free drinks. Or they're using you. As we get older, we tend to attract younger women because that's just a fact. Or they might use you and see you as an ATM machine. This has happened to me many times. I understand a woman that's under 35, she could be still in school, and it's expensive to maintain that look, right? There's women that are spending $500 to $1,000 or more per month on just their beauty products. The hair, the lashes, the nails, I get it. So if I start dating someone and then I find out how much they're spending, or maybe they ask me, maybe I am open to helping them. But in general, the thing is that it costs a lot to maintain this look. I don't mind helping a little bit, but I've been used before, man, so I completely get it. And that's why men are going their own way, because they're like, you know what, I'm done with being used by these women for dinners, for drinks, for ATM machine, whatever they see you as. So I understand, man. So number 4, men are fed up with being disposable. And when I just say disposable, listen, it's women and children first, right? You've seen many movies where the boat is going down, the Titanic, as an example. It's women and children first in general. But this is also this case where men feel disposable in relationships. So, for example, of all the divorces, 70% of the divorces are filed by the woman, okay? The more expensive the wedding, the faster the divorce. So yet, here you are, you're trying to make her happy. The term happy wife, happy life is actual hogwash. So here you are spending a fortune on a wedding, and yet you find yourself divorced in 5 years. So that's a fact, man. The studies have shown the more you spend on this wedding, the faster the divorce. And it's like you can't make these women happy. And even 5 years into a marriage, it doesn't matter kids, it doesn't matter whatever, studies cannot point to one thing as to why that woman's desire for you drops off a cliff after 5 years into the marriage. It's sad, but it's true. Whereas men, their desire kind of stays the same, drops a little bit over the years. And so men are going their own way and they're fed up with being disposable, okay? So number 5, the last thing. Men are fed up with not being appreciated. Oof, this is a big topic right here. When I say not appreciated, feminism has brought about more harm to women than they even realize. For those of you that don't know, and for the women watching this, feminism has its roots in the occult. That's right, in the occult. If you don't believe me, go check it out. Many of the early founders of feminism were part of the occult, and their whole thing, and I'm going to quote something from the Bible because it's just, hey, I'm really big on any kind of proverbs, any kind of quotes, doesn't matter where they come from, if it really resonates. Well, the Bible clearly states that a thorn in a woman's side, I'm paraphrasing, the thorn in the woman's side is that she will desire her husband, but yet he will rule over her. So what that means is she will want to rule over him, but he will rule over her. To this day, it frustrates women. But the reality is, as soon as a woman rules over a man, she hates his guts. And that's the same in relationships. And that the thing is it doesn't seem to matter what us guys do to make a woman happy, because she's never going to be happy. I will give you a true story today. Today, I met this carpet cleaner in this building. So I live here. This is the public space. It's called the Sky Lounge. There's a pool behind me. And this carpet cleaner has another business where he does flood servicing basements that get flooded, right? So he was telling me the story of a woman where her basement got flooded. All the emergency services showed up, police, fire, ambulance. He showed up. There was 6 men trying to help her, and she was an absolute basket case. She was freaking out, completely unappreciative. And here's the thing. Men build cities, right? Women have children. We both need each other, and we both have different values. But the thing is that's frustrating, and why a lot of men are going their own way when they don't feel appreciated, is because look at behind me. You see the crane? this whole city, men build all this stuff. Where I live, there's at least 6 cranes near me, and it's all men on the construction sites. Okay, 99%. I see men hanging down by ropes cleaning windows. Like, men not only build cities, but we maintain the infrastructure of all these cities. If all of a sudden men were to disappear tomorrow, women would be fucked, right? They would not live nearly as long as if the reverse happened and all the women disappeared and then the men had to survive. Men go to wars, we die for our countries, we build cities. Like, there's on and on and on of the value that men bring, but yet there's this undertone, unappreciation that a lot of women have for men, and I can blame it on feminism. That unlike other cultures where the women embraced masculinity and their femininity, but this is another reason why men are going their own way. They don't feel appreciated, and I completely get it. So that's all the bad news, right? It's all the bad news. But I have some great news for you guys, man. The great news is just accept it for what it is. Accept women's nature for what it is, and take that and just know, hey, this is the way women are. So the good news, if you focus on your purpose, you focus on your passions, and women become less a priority in your life. If you make women less of a priority in life, instead of them being your purpose, not only will you be more successful, but none of this stuff will bother you, because you'll be like, whatever, I don't really need you anyways, right? So think about that. Like, men bring way more to the table in general than women do, and I'd like to see anyone challenge me on that. So drop a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.